Storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft.
We'll begin with the spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What will
he has a look of power and of madness. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. A party of adventurers has just entered his domain.
Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it.
Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle towers. But Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, or perhaps a lone wolf fills the midnight air.
You'll be free if you truly.
The Master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner. You are invited.
Over to me. Well, it's good to be back, and last time we met, Artie and Galen went on themselves a bit of an excursion of Argynvostholt, the castle south of Van Richten's tower, where they discovered the fate of the dragon Argynvost, who had been wiped out by the forces of Strahd upon his arrival to the valley. They were encountered by little resistance and managed to make offering to a god, the Morning Lord, who, being seemingly the god of the sun and light, only wants Strahd gone to make room for his dominance over the region. Along the way, they encountered a strange elf man who agreed to come with them despite his old age. But he seems pretty pessimistic in that he believes that they'll all die doing this. Aside from that, the group was issued a challenge by Lord Strahd in the Tome of Strahd. He has beckoned them to come forth and face him. It may be time for a final confrontation. All pieces on the table, all pieces on the board, and all cards on the table. This may be it for our group, and if not, then they'll have successfully defeated the Dreadlord of Barovia. But for now, they travel to Valaki to go and seek out assistance wherever they can find it. And you are free to do as you wish.
think Artie and Dorlith will head over to the Burgomaster's place, since we'd cleared that out, and kind of set up a quick base of operations as we push out further in Vallaki.
All right. You arrive at the Burgomaster's mansion, and just as stately as ever, it's standing there with all the maids and men going about their business, working, keeping the place in order for the party now that you've taken over the residence.
Dorlith will walk up to start to walk inside the house. Let me see. Looking for this. Do I see anything when I walk in other than them, like a letter or anything like that?
No, but you do hear a voice coming from the kitchen area on your left that you don't recognize.
Dorlith will draw a dagger and kind of gesture to the workers to go into that south dining room. So he makes his way to the kitchen.
And they do.
He walks up, kind of looks at Artie, and just kind of walks in with the dagger just down at his side.
As you walk in, you see a man, like an olive-skinned rogue, Eladrin, some kind of elf. You can't tell what, but he's a rogue of some kind, judging by his straps and leather armor, and he's doing some kind of parlor tricks for the staff working in the kitchen. He doesn't seem to be a threat to them.
Can I help you?
Kasvu, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Ah, I see you're finally back. My name is Kasvu. I've heard of many of your feats. I feel we can help each other.
Make an insight check on that.
Go ahead and roll it.
Yes. $24.
What are you looking to find out?
This guy just popped out of nowhere. If what he's saying is true, that he thinks that he can help us, and just his general demeanor toward the staff, if it's actually genuine or if it's a front.
From the looks on the staff's faces, they don't look like they've been threatened in any way. They look like they're particularly enjoying themselves with him. Nothing in the room indicates that there would be any deception going on.
Dorlith will kind of breathe a little sigh, not quite put the dagger away yet, look at Artie, and just kind of plop himself in a chair by the door. Just kind of stay quiet for a moment.
Artie?
I'll order drinks for us.
Indeed, the people go on their way, working up drinks, washing dishes, and getting 3 drinks together noticeably, not 2.
Kasvu, did you tell us your name?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Kasvu, what have you heard, and Why do you come to speak to us?
I've heard of your feats to kill the wretched mayor of this place, and how you helped the gypsies find their kid. Many other things, but they appear to just be rumors, so I figured I would seek you guys out. Maybe see if you could help me get into the Dreadlord's castle.
What is your business with the Dreadlord?
I simply pull out a gold coin, slap it on the table, and say, "Money, my friend, money."
Someone's paying you?
I have reason to believe there are riches in there that I wouldn't mind acquiring.
Are you from around here?
Yes, I was born and raised. I spent most of my life hiding in the shadows. As you know, Strahd has ears and eyes everywhere around this place.
That he does. Well, if... And Dorlith will kind of sigh a little bit. Well, we're not really going there to find riches. We're going to rid this mist-covered domain of his life and his shadow. But by all means, you find anything, you can have it. But is that your only motivation? If you find riches and we haven't faced Strahd, will we have to worry about you departing?
We'll see if I can trust you. If we manage to kill Strahd, then you will eternally earn my favor. If not, then, well, we're dead, so it doesn't matter.
Well, know this: if you come with us into the castle and you find what you're looking for, I don't think that you will be able to find a way out unless you attend to our matter first.
I will play by any rules I must.
I'll turn away and help with the kitchen staff, but I'll also pull a shard of the mirror from upstairs and hold it over my shoulder and just kind of look at him for a second, watch his manners, and make sure he has an image and a few other things. But I'll go ahead and help get food ready.
Vito, Dorlith, in walks the elf that you brought with you from Argynvostold, and he says, do you trust him?
Or that we have in our corner, the better. I honestly can't say I trust you, but you know how it has to be.
I'm also moving the glass shard to scan over our new friend that's with us.
You're moving the last what?
I'm also using the mirror shard now to look at the elf that we found.
Okay.
And then trying to put it away.
The kitchen staff bring you 3 tankards, but seeing Kasvu is gone, one of them sees fit to shrug his shoulders and just drink it himself.
Did Kasvu go?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it Galen that left, or was it Artie that left?
No one left. I'm just across the room helping get things ready.
Oh, well, in that case, they present you with 3 drinks, 1 for each of you, and not 1 for the old elf.
Dorlith will slide his over to the old elf. Say, what news have you brought of our contacts?
He says that, funnily enough, when I found Rudolph Van Richten, he informed me that Miss Esmeralda Davenier is already within the walls of Castle Ravenloft seeking out the vampire.
That dumb son of a bitch. And Dorlith will kind of chuckle a little bit.
He says he intends to meet her there at some point soon, but who knows if she's still there when we arrive.
I appreciate you reaching out, risking your life to push forward. Will you be joining us?
He says, of course. I already told you. An old man's got to die sometime.
No worthier place to go, I suppose.
He says, indeed. No better place to die than the bowels of a castle filled with eldritch terror.
Well, if you have to die, that's one for the books, I say.
Yeah. Pushes the glass back to you, or not the glass, but he pushes the tankard back to you and says, well, at least it won't be boring.
Dorlith will chuckle and take a swig of the from the tankard and just put it down and slide it back in his direction again.
I'll
go ahead.
I'll start plating up some food, making a plate for each of us, including our friend. So 4 plates, but also a 5th plate.
Okay. So you're going to make an extra plate.
Yes, and I'm going to leave the room and go upstairs to see if our guest is still here with the extra plate.
Your guest, the shadow,
the man we found shackled to the wall that we gave the guest bedroom and a few books.
Yes.
And we tasked him to kind of read through as many books as he wanted to. And I'm just checking in to see what knowledge he might have gained.
All right. Well, you arrive and you find him in a familiar position, lying on the book and looking in much better spirits, but reading a book on the bed as usual.
I'll go ahead and bring over the plate, and grab in my hand the plate that we left when he wasn't present, if it's still there, and ask how he feels, and give him a check over to see if he's healthy.
He says, I'm a new man. I've got a good health and all the time I need to learn about this beautiful region.
Read any books recently?
He says, plenty. Is there something you are looking to learn?
Anything more directly about the Castle Ravenloft? Its history, its landmarks, rooms, catacombs, relics, anything.
He says, no, the old Burgomaster, it was expressly forbidden to talk about Lord Strahd within these walls. He destroyed any book that came through the gates that had anything to say about them, as they would sow despair among the population. But I do have a few books, some tomes of the Morning Lord. They speak about his aversion to Lord Strahd. He, suffice it to say, he is not friendly with the Dreadlord.
Yes. I've recently learned some knowledge about the Morning Lord as well. Can you tell me anything about his followers or his beliefs?
Mm. Well, previously it was just a worship of the sun and, you know, the glory of a good morning. But ever since the darkness clouded the sky, he's been trying to raise paladins rather than worshippers. He wants them to go forth and eradicate the darkness, the source of it, rather. Lord Strahd himself he wants killed. Do you know anything about the Morning Lord?
We found a small church inside of some ruins recently, and upon restoring some of the room and stained glass windows, I had an inkling of who it might be to, and he spoke to us and gave us his blessing on our next adventure.
What did he say? What was his blessing?
Just that he will be with us and guide our steps and give us a signal when the time comes.
And I'm assuming there's an offering to be made.
There's a task to be carried out. I'm going to DM keep the details kind of close, even understanding that might leave out a connection and information.
All right.
And if I have to roll a deception, I will. But I'm intentionally being kind of vague and leaving out the actual mission details.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But as you read previously in one of the books, the sun might return to this land after all.
He says, "Indeed. Do you think you'll succeed?"
We're the last hope.
He says, "I see. Well, I certainly hope that you do, and I certainly hope that you return to bring me more books and tomes from Ravenloft."
I'll grab what I can find. Thank you for doing research in our absence.
He says, "Indeed."
Well, enjoy the food. Eat, regain your strength. We'll know where to find you.
He nods and takes the plate from you. He says, "It smells delicious. Did you prepare this yourself?"
I assisted the kitchen staff.
He says,
we have a new guest downstairs, two actually, one that came with us and one that arrived prior. Were there any other attendees? Anyone coming and going that you know of?
He says, "No, not that I can think of, though we did find it strange when that little elf arrived downstairs saying he wanted to find you.
Okay. Well, thank you. Enjoy your stay, and I'll exit, heading back downstairs.
All right. As you all go about your business, you can see the sun begin to creep out ever so slightly. You can't quite see it yet, but you can see light from it begin to fill the sky. It's almost time.
Artie, what would you like to do so we can prepare? You have my hands as help, and I assume our new friend here will assist as well. I know you got something spinning in that head of yours.
I need to swing by my house and grab some of my notes. Oh no, I burned them. Good. I need to swing by my house and use some of the equipment there. So I'll probably be busy all of night tonight. But I know you might have wanted to have checked up on the gypsies nearby and anywhere else that you may need to go. Remember, we only have 2 days' time here and a week's travel ahead.
I wonder if there's a way we can get word to the werewolf clan that we sent off from the den. And Dorlith will look over at our older elf friend that we met in Argynvostholt and kind of explain what happened at the werewolf den. And see if he could attempt to try to find where we sent the Watcher and the orphans.
And you're looking to ask who?
Right now, the guy we met in Argynvostholt.
And you're asking if he would know how you could find the Watcher that you left?
I'm trying to think. Artie, did we give her a specific location to go to, or did we just say go?
We sent her to get in contact with the gypsies, to leave the children with them, and to to hand over financial compensation to offset any expenses occurred by the children. And then she was to return and try to lead any of the pack or anyone that we sent back to her in a more positive path, less rage, less whatever. And I think we were going to try to send Hope there, but
yes. We send him to the werewolf den to try to make contact.
Yeah, but he met an untimely fate with the wagon.
No, I mean our Argynvostholt friend to go and make contact with. Go to the werewolf den. with a letter or a message.
DM, was the werewolf camp kind of on the way from here to the castle? It was, wasn't it? Because the mist directed us to the cave on our way to the castle the first time.
I'm sorry, I must have lost your voice. Did I miss you? What was that?
The werewolf camp is in between the town we're currently in and Strahd's castle. Because we
Yes.
were on our way to Strahd's castle the first time and the mist redirected us.
Yes.
Maybe we could make contact on the way.
Yep. That might be a good idea for us to show our faces instead of a new individual.
And if we are trying to recruit strength, then on our way there would be the best place.
Well, I mean, we could possibly split up for a little while. Or we could, on the way to your house, we can stop by a general store or something and see if there's anything that we can grab that might assist us.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. And then Dorlith is going to begin writing a set of like 6 letters, one to each of our companions who were lost to the mist, and imploring them to assist us in this.
What will you do with them?
What can I do with them?
Have them load we could do a little research to see if there's a different way into the castle. And we could have kind of a frontal army as we sneak in. Draw out units, draw attention. If Strahd's actively engaged in an action, we might not be able to scry on us.
Right.
Which might let us get into the castle. But I wouldn't want to use them as cannon fodder. I would want to give them a direction to withdraw.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to get a hold of them. I don't have any way to get a hold of them.
Well, I say we leave a letter here to be given if any of them come, because they're all recognized.
Yep.
That's party numbers here.
Yep.
Leaving a missive at the tavern would be a good idea too.
Yep.
Maybe leaving a missive at the tavern to come to the Burgomaster's and not leave directions of our plans. I don't know what else.
Yeah, that's Dorlith will start writing out a letter that'll say, our dear friends, if you are reading this, we have begun our final assault and confrontation with the Dreadlord of Barovia. Make haste to... Shit, we don't have a spot. To meet us. Make haste to the castle gates in 3 days' time to meet with us and begin our riddance of Strahd from this place. And then the other letter will say, if anyone from or these people show up, send them to the Burgomaster's house, Burgomaster's mansion, and that one will go to the Blue Water Inn, and the other one will be left with our elderly elf, who will stay behind and wait for our individuals, and if they don't show up in time, that he'll come on his own.
All right.
I think that should work.
Should we not leave it with staff,
I mean, we could.
just in case he leaves?
Yeah, we can do that. And we'll seal it up with the Burgomaster's seal.
Noticing the wall still being rubble, can I begin to kind of patch it up, I guess?
How so?
Using artificer pool proficiency. I forget what the feat's called, but it means that I can gain proficiency in any tool
Okay.
for an hour, and then
Like tool for
basically
the
laying a
job.
brick, and then laying a brick, and then either through mending or through masonry, working on that. Kasvu, do you have masonry?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I can't remember what your proficiencies are. Okay. And then I'd also like to stick my head in the doorway across from the rubble to see if the ladies are still there.
All right, so you'll begin repairing the wall. Are you talking about like just the wall outside the mansion?
No, in the entertainment room.
Yes.
Our
Jucado.
Dragonborn friend Kool-Aid Wall.
That wall.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. It takes you no more than an hour to replace some of the damaged posts and get some new covering up. It doesn't look perfect, but it is much better than what it was before.
Okay. Aside from that, I'm going to swing by my house and focus on crafting potions for today.
All right. Vito, what do you have for the rest of your day?
Is there an armorer? Or
Not in Valaki.
mm-hmm. So I'm gonna lean over to the older elf gentleman. I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
Started with an S.
Oh, the one yep, Savid.
Savid, yes.
Yes, because I kept getting it mixed up with Sefik. I'll say, hey, Savid. And Dorlith will kind of shake himself and say, I'm just a little clunky. Is there any way, anywhere in Barovia that has mithril armor?
Mm-hmm. He says outside of Castle Ravenloft, doubtful. Many things like that were restricted from the people when Lord Strahd took over and put his minions in charge of the large cities.
Makes sense. Is there a magic shop in Valaki? Where or nearby. Just to see what may be available.
I'm sorry. Did I miss you again? What was it?
I said, are there any magic shops in Barovia that sell relatively mundane magic items that he would think are not a threat, that maybe could be utilized in certain ways to be a threat?
Things like that can be hard to come by, but I've heard if you go and see Blinky over in town, he can you'll have to ask him about what he's got in the back, but he may have something for you.
That's where I will go.
All right, you begin heading on your way. I'll come back to you in a second. Kasvu, what are you going to do with the rest of your day to prepare?
I'm gonna wander around the town, just kind of look out for things that I might need. Since I'm really not familiar with the party, before they take off, I want to ask them what their plans are for getting into the castle.
You're going to ask who again?
Vito, since I think Galen already took off, right? Or
Yep. Artie
already
is
took
at
off.
this house.
Well, I mean, we're still trying to figure that out. I'm going to ask around. If you want to look and use your eye, assume you're pretty sneaky. Try to find some other way other than the front door to get inside Castle Ravenloft would be beneficial. But if we have to, the front door is there's always a place we can go. It's just I would prefer not to.
As you can tell by our surprise encounter, I'm pretty good at getting into places.
Well, if you want to try to find some information about Castle Ravenloft and the blueprints, the layout, entryways, hidden passages, I would take that as a gesture of good faith.
I can do that. Any little bit of information helps, I guess.
Between life and death, it is.
Yeah, after that, I'll simply just like kind of get up, walk out, and start roaming the city.
Where will you head?
Well, it's night, so I think to a nearby pub or an inn or something, somewhere where I could find the most people to gather information.
All right, well, you'll head over to the Blue Water Inn, and I'll come back to you in a moment. Vito and
Yes.
Dorlith is headed over to Blinky's Toys once more, and all the lights, there are no lights coming from the windows, so it seems there are no candles or torches lit inside, but you can hear work going on.
Real quick, I think you gave your your doll to the child, or I did, but you have the other doll.
Yes, I do.
Either way. Okay.
Dorlith is just gonna go up to the front door and give a soft little knock. Stern, but soft.
You don't hear an answer, but you do noticeably hear all of the working stop.
Say, Blinky, we gotta talk. I know you're in there. Open up the door.
You can hear a bunch of locks coming off the door, And he cracks it just a bit, just enough to see you, and he says, "Oh, Dorlith, my friend. How are you today?"
I wish I were better. So, how's business?
He says, business is good. Business is very good. What have you come for? Have you come for more doll? I have many doll for you.
I think I'm set on dolls. Thank you. But, I'm wondering, and Dorlith kind of leans in just a little bit. What you have in the back?
He says, "Oh, you want something a little more magical."
I might.
He says, let me see what I can do. And he pulls you inside, locking the door, and heads into the back, and you can hear him rummaging through items, and he shouts to you. He says, when you and your friends were gone so long, I figured you'd been eaten by vampires."
No, we're still kicking. Some of those aren't, though. Guess that's the way of the world.
He says, "Indeed." And you're still here. Very, very, very fortunate. What happened to the rest of your friends?
Oh, some of them headed off to do other things to gather things for us. Hey, Blinky, how are you with a blade?
He says, aside from my sewing tools, I'm not very adept with pointy objects.
Fair enough.
He says, wait, are you going to fight Strahd?
Put it to you this way. We were invited to dine with him. We're still alive. That should tell you a little bit about us.
He says, very strong and resilient. Impressive, my friend. But if you do this, you will die.
Oh, it's either that or you. And he'll walk over to Blinky and kind of give him a little grip on the shoulder and just kind of give it a little squeeze. Say, or you will remain under a thumb that you never thought you'd stay under.
He brings out a single large plate of armor, and he says, "This was my first attempt at making anything with mithril metal. It may not be perfect, and it may not provide as much protection as your armor now, but it will allow you to move more quietly."
Take a look at it. How does it look?
Looks perfectly fine. It looks light and flexible, but sturdy.
Yeah. This'll do perfect. You know what I'm looking for. Thank you, Blinky. I appreciate you. What can I do for you?
He says, "Well, what you can do for me is you can go back and you can finish off Strahd and bring me back my plate armor. It'd be a shame to have my best work go into the grave with you."
I have no plan of it or I ending up in Strahd's crypts or out of a window or lost to the time of Barovia. It will return to you, and you can mount it right in the front. And Dorlith will turn to behind the register and like kind of like take his hands and like put them together and like spread them across. You know what I mean? Just kind of like you can place it right here to show that no one keeps Blinky down. Is no fun, is no Blinky.
Yes, very good, my friend. Very good. What else? What else do I have here for you? Who is with you? Do you have any friends who need items?
I do have a few friends. One we've just recently met, but he's a sneaky fella. And pretty dexterous.
Indeed. Then he needs something to help him sneak. Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
While he's doing that, Dorlith will just kind of like walk around the shop and readjust some of the dolls so they sit like OCD order type thing. Just kind of like straighten them up a little bit.
He brings you out a set of leather clothing. When he places it in your hand, you notice it's very soft. It's a set of boots and a large leather cloak. He says, for your sneaky friends. If he wears both of these, he'll be all but undetectable if he doesn't want to be.
These are beautiful. These will do just fine.
He says, indeed, it was stolen from some elves.
Sometimes you gotta take what you can get, and this is perfect. We actually do have, you remember Artie, right?
Indeed, yes, the artificer.
Yes.
Artie the artificer.
You know what he's about. I can't for the life of me think of anything that he needs, however, I'm sure you might.
He says, this is difficult. Artie's magic, it is beyond mine. I struggle to make anything that he cannot already make himself. Give me a moment. I will consider. And he goes into the back, and you hear now it's specifically glass objects that are being moved around. It sounds like he's moving a bunch of bottles.
Yeah.
And he's like, he goes, as I said, most of Artie's magic, it outclasses mine by multiple degrees of magnitude.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, Blinky.
He says, but I am just an old toy salesman. But in my times, I've come across a few knickknacks that I've had no use for. And he comes out with a shimmering gold, a gold potion of some sort. It's like liquid gold. It's like ambrosia with a single scale in it, a large one. It's a bottle that fits in both of your hands. It's large enough to be in both of your hands, and a scale the size of your palm is floating in the middle of the drink.
Looks interesting. Where have you been hiding this, Blinky?
He says, well, funny that you should ask. You, have you ever been to Argenvostold?
Funny enough, we have.
He says, yes, my father. He fought at the Battle of Argenvostold. He was conscripted into Strahd's army. And though he didn't want to, he had to in order to protect my mother and I. And when he came home after defeating the Silver Dragon there, he took a scale from it, and I guess he made this. I don't know what it does, but it's yours if you want it.
Anyone would know, you know it'd be Artie.
Indeed. He says, "Is there anything else I can do for you, my friend?"
Hmm. Do you know of anyone who would assist us? Any rumors or talks that you've heard of malcontent?
He says, malcontent is common in this day,
It is.
but um, it's harder to find anyone willing to give their lives to stop it. Don't bother with the Vistani. They serve Strahd in order to save their own lives, and they'll refuse to try and slay him for the same reason. What else? Have you asked that old crazy man in the tavern at Blue Water?
Ah, Octavio. We have.
Indeed, legend says he was a legendary monster hunter.
He may be of assistance. I appreciate it. But, Blinky, you know, once I walk out that door, you're a part of this too. And I don't want to see you or your father's conscription to help protect you and your mother be forfeit to Strahd. Protect yourself.
He says, don't worry about Blinky. Blinky is strong and brave, and I always know where to run to save my own hide.
One of the smartest things I've heard, Blinky, and he'll give him a pat on the back, reach out a hand to do like a forearm shake. They,
Indeed.
we'll be back, and you will mount this.
He grabs your arm and pulls you in close, and he says, "Good luck, brother." And he beats you on the back of he beats you on the back hard, and he says, "All fortune is with you. That will be the worst punishment you suffer today."
I hope it is. Oh, and Blinky. And Dorlith will take out a little sack of like 100 gold. Just put it on the table. Say, just to be safe.
He says, now you speak my language." And he smiles and waves at you on your way out the door.
Yep. Make my way back.
All right, and then we're going to turn to Kasvu. You're on your way to the Blue Water Inn. As you,
This is the tavern, right?
yes.
Keep in mind he doesn't know the names of places yet.
Yeah, that's true. As you arrive at the tavern, you see a strange little man muttering to himself on the way out, carrying a cane, and notably carrying a cane, not walking with it, carrying it. And he's muttering to himself on the way out, something about vampires and all that.
Can I do a perception check to kind of decipher, see if I can't not audibly hear, but like fully understand or understand for the most part what he's talking about?
Sure, go ahead and roll.
$14.
You manage to understand that he's formulating some kind of plan. You don't know for what, but it has something to do with vampires and undead.
I'll go ahead and use after hearing that, I'll go ahead and use my stealth to follow him. I'll roll a stealth check on that.
You'll do a what check?
Stealth check to follow him.
Go ahead and roll stealth.
That's a 25.
Okay. You said 25?
Yeah.
All right. You'll follow him from the Blue Water Inn, which is here. And he begins taking a very erratic route, taking a lot of turns. And when he circles around this corner here, coming from this road around to the left, he he disappears around the corner quickly, and when you round the corner, you come face to face with the end of his rapier, and he says, "Now what are you doing following me?"
I did not mean to startle you, my friend. I mean no harm. I heard you talking about vampires and undead.
He says, "Oh, you want to talk about vampires? Well, why didn't you just say so?"
So what is it you know about the vampires and undead? What do you want with them?
He launches into a long story about how he used to be a legendary monster slayer, and how he was unstoppable with a blade, and how monsters all across the region feared him. And you begin to realize that the longer he tells this story, the longer it was going to get.
First, I want to roll an insight check to see if I believe him, because anyone can say they're a famous monster hunter.
Go ahead, roll it.
That's a 7 on insight.
As far as you can tell, he's telling the truth.
I kind of gesture to stop him. I do not mean to interrupt you, but if what you say is true, I do believe I have some people you may want to meet.
He says, people like who?
We are actually trying to make contact with Strahd himself.
He says, wait a minute. A strange paladin man that wears a cloak and a weird little human artificer.
Yes, you know of them?
They're still alive.
Yes, they are. I actually just met with them.
He says, oh, well, you're going to fight Lord Strahd, huh?
That's the plan. We just need as much information as we can. We need to get into his castle, preferably not the front door.
He says, well, funny enough, I'm already on my way to Castle Ravenloft. My protege is there scouting out the location for us.
That's wonderful to hear. If you're willing to delay your adventure for just a little bit longer, perhaps you'd like to meet up with Artie and the others.
I'm sorry, I missed you. What was that?
I asked him if he's willing to take a slight delay, if he'd be willing to meet with Artie and the others before heading out to the castle.
He says, no, no, no. My apprentice is already putting herself in enough danger being there alone. I need to be there to help her.
I understand.
He says, speaking of which, and he pulls out a stopwatch that is not running, you notice. It's not, the clock does not work. And he says, I certainly have to go. And he turns, and almost as though he wasn't even having a conversation with you, just begins walking away to the east.
Before he leaves, I'd like to ask him what his name is.
Mm-hmm. He turns and he says, in a notably different voice, he says, Rudolph van Richten, at your service. And then he tips his top hat, turns, and continues walking.
All right. With that being said, I will kind of just walk. I'll walk back to the tavern.
All right. So everyone has what they're looking for. Dorlith with his magic items. Artie with the information that he was looking for, and Kasvu with the same. What is the party going to do now?
Can you take a quick look at chat for my elixir crafting?
I already saw it.
Okay. I'm at my house, and Vito knows where that is. Kasvu was so I will either have Vito arrive at my house, or when finished, I will head back to the mansion.
Dorlith will meet. We'll go back to the Burgomaster's and wait for Kasvu to return. And then when he does, he'll take him to Artie's house.
Upon you knocking on the door, you hear a familiar voice tell you that I'm handling very important business by order of the Burgomaster, and that I am not to be disturbed, and that you need to leave, otherwise you'll face the wrath of the Burgomaster.
Dorlith will chuckle and just begin walking inside.
Okay, awesome. The door is unlocked and swings open.
All right, Kasvu. Got you in there. All right. Where are we headed, group?
As we're inside Artie's place. And
if you guys have come in, I'm going to open a window and send out my bird. Because I don't know what we're about to talk about, but I want to make sure nobody's around. So he's just going to fly.
Dorlith is going to take out the items that he got and kind of place them on the table. The potion of shimmering gold with the dragon scale floating in it, and the boots and the cloak on the table. And he'll kind of unclasp the mithril and place that down too, and say, I talked to Blinky. He's all about what we're doing, so he gave me this to help us. And he also said we shouldn't bother with the Vistani, which I think we kind of assumed that they have allegiance to Strahd. And Dorlith will ask Artie and Kasvu, do y'all know what these things are?
What things? The equipment you got?
Yep, that I put on the table for us.
Yes, Galen, go ahead and roll me Arcana.
Okay. Also, Kasvu can ritually cast Identify as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the identify.
Artie, you recognize the gold shimmering liquid as a potion of Dragon's Majesty. With a silver scale floating in it, you recognize that drinking the potion will turn you into an adult dragon, an adult silver dragon, for 1 hour.
Fuck me.
Nice.
My jaw just hit the floor.
Let's just
I'm gonna
destroy
quickly
the
pick
castle.
that up. I'm gonna quickly pick that up and basically just get fully enveloped in like
Down it
adoring
immediately.
So I will be kind of disengaged unless for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. And you recognize Kasvu. The cloak and boots on the table, you notice from their craftsmanship, they're boots and cloaks of elven kind. They're legendary magic items that are hard to come by in a place where elves are not quite as common. It's not really an elven cultural center. Combining both items, you'll be just about undetectable anytime you want to be. You can read the specific stats on the sheet. Just make sure to add to your sheet boots of elven kind and cloak of elven kind.
All right.
And the mithril was, I didn't catch what type of
Mithril plate.
plate. Okay, that's what I thought. Let me add that in there. Mithril. Hey. Well, I'm gonna take that chainmail that I had, and kind of find a spot in Artie's house to just kind of like take like a coat rack and put it like against a wall and hang the chainmail on it in like a corner.
Okay.
Yes.
I go ahead and like still nesting the bottle against my chest. With one hand drag a chair over to a table and then go back and grab another chair and put it around a table so that we can all sit down. And I go over to what looks like an alchemy kit fully set up and start putting mushrooms and dirt, what looks to be dirt, in and start a small flame.
Then Dorlith will nudge Kasvu and say, "Oh, you're in for a treat."
What are you
brewing? A not so good coffee.
Okay.
It's what helped me stay awake during my research trying to find a cure for the potion. That understands.
All right.
Kasvu, are you interested in a long sword?
No, because I do have I have a rapier right now, and I do also have my my psionic blades.
Long swords are strength based, I think.
Yes, they are. Artie, would you care for a long sword?
Not particularly. I prefer to stay out of harm's way altogether, and I'll slap my crossbow. It's on the hip.
Okay. Easy enough. Dorlith is gonna take one of the long swords and like go over to the chainmail and just stick it with it. Just stuck it down the back of the the chainmail, so it just kind of sticks out the top and the bottom.
So now I have a piece of equipment in my house that looks like a training dummy. Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
I think I'm gonna take some time to craft some basic poisons.
You can use any of the equipment here in my house to help with that. So I'll use the help action, basically. If you're letting us know about it. If you're not letting us know about it, then you can go off in one of the rooms.
I'll ask the group if they need any poisons first.
I mean, poison bolts might not be a bad idea. And Dorlith will kind of tap his hand crossbow on his side. Poison tipped.
I think in a simple poison, you can dip like 5 bolts or something like that. Per vial.
How many bolts are you looking for?
Just a handful is probably good.
Well, let's see how much we craft together.
I can assist as well because I have proficiency in alchemist supplies. I don't have poisoner's kits, but
I do have a poisoner's kit.
Yeah, he'd probably have to guide the rolls, but between all of us, we could probably craft
doing it
something.
together.
Something.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
JR?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So if all 3 of us are crafting under Kasvu's direction and guidance, using my lab, what kind of rolls and what results might we be able to get as far as poison vials?
It would entirely depend on what you're each trying to craft, and each of your expertise in doing so. Give me a moment. All right, Vito.
Yes.
Roll me raw intelligence plus Kasvu's proficiency score. Or his proficiency bonus, rather.
The +3.
Hey.
21, so 24.
Yes.
Okay, you will get yourself a drow poison. Go ahead and add that to your inventory. It's called drow poison.
Is it just one vial or?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Artie, you do the same.
Roll a what?
Intelligence plus Kasvu's +3. Sorry, intelligence +3.
17.
You will craft yourself a wyvern poison.
Okay.
And Kasvu, go ahead and just roll for your poisoner's kit. Hello?
Is it under actions?
No, you just roll me intelligence.
18.
All right. You will create a purple worm poison. Add that to your inventory.
If I were to drop a little bit on the blade of my dagger and then attempt to coat the tip of as many bolts as I can, how many bolts would I be able to coat?
Give me a minute. How much is in one set? The quiver comes with 20, right?
Yes.
You'd be able to coat 20 arrows, or you'd be able to apply a lethal dose to your blade. So
Can I split that and do 10 bolts and put a little bit on the dagger?
no, probably not. Yeah, I would probably say that you got to do one or the other.
I'll just do the 20 bolts.
Done crafting and ready to talk.
I believe I am.
I'm ready as well.
Well, I've been stuck inside. I've been busy at work, and I'll go ahead and go over to a box with individual wooden sticks to separate the glass bottles to keep them from knocking against themselves, and I'll hand each one of you 2 healing potions that do 2d4 plus 4 health. I think we added those on break.
Yes.
As well as a boldness elixir. You're just going to have to write this down. It puts you under the effects of guidance, basically. And that is, I'll pull out a potion of flight and give that to Dorlith, but I'll hesitate and tell him I crafted it with the purpose of helping with the armor. I'll still give it to you if you take it, but otherwise I'm going to hold on to it. It would give you 10 feet flight for 10 minutes.
I think this might help you out. You hold on to it.
Okay. And you see still in the crate 2 larger round bottles with quite a bit of debris and silt floating in the mixture. And as it swirls around, it kind of catches the light every couple seconds. But other than that, it's a dark liquid. And you'll see me put a small sheet back over the crate.
Been busy.
The D4, the boldness potions are a D4 added to attack rolls or saving throws made for the next 10 rounds. So it's 10 rounds if it's in combat. It's a minute if it's out of combat.
Kasvu. Man of the
Yes.
hour. What information were you able to glean about Castle Ravenloft?
I look at the group and I say, before I tell you anything, who knows of you? Who all knows of you?
There's quite a few people who know of us. Is there one in particular you're looking for?
I ran into a peculiar fellow, went by the name of Rudolph. He was headed towards the castle not too long ago. He mentioned your names, said he knew you.
He does. He's we're on the same side. He's looking for his protege Esmeralda. If I'm not mistaken, with Savid told us that she had gone ahead to the castle. What were you able to get from him?
I explained everything that Rudolph told me. He went into great detail of his journeys, his feats. He actually did seem rather surprised you were all alive. I did not know what to make of this.
That wouldn't surprise me. He was once a member of several adventuring parties at one point or another, and they all died, and he was the only one left. Lone survivor. So he should be able to hold his own, I would suppose.
And he's quite a drinker.
He said he was rushing off to meet up with his protege, so I can only assume that he's still alive.
Yes. Mostly what he does is drink and spew nonsense, but that's just to cover. He is a very smart and savvy individual. He knows how to stay alive, so we will see him before his time is out.
Shrug my shoulders, say, well, if I were to survive so many slaughters, I'd be a drinker too.
It's very true. So,
Well, if we are to meet up with him, maybe I should fill a water skin to give to him once we meet.
some of your delicious coffee.
No, the wine from the barrels in the kitchen.
Ah. I'd prefer that as well. Nothing. I didn't say anything. This coffee is delicious. Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll an insight check on that.
Yeah, it seems delicious. You might as well try it.
I give it a sniff. Smells good enough, so I down it and immediately get a very bitter look on my face.
Good, right? Dorlith gives him a little wink.
I choke in a very raspy voice, say, delicious.
I think this one's better than the last one, Artie. He is away for the minute. So, we have everything that we need currently. DM, around what time is it? Or was it the whole day of us doing all this stuff?
Yeah, it took most of the day to. Obviously, you can't see the sun, but the orange hue of the sky tells you that the day is ending.
Okay. Well, I suggest we head back over to the Burgomaster's place, gather Savid, and begin to make our way down the old Svalek. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would like to check in with the coffin maker on the way out.
Right.
All right. You'd like to stop at the coffin maker's house? Anything in
Yes.
specific you're looking for?
I'd like to check in and see if he's still alive, as we have visited him once before and left him alive to the last of my notice. To apologize for procuring one of his coffin lids, and make sure that he received payment for it. I left it on his counter, and to see if that was enough. I would also like to inquire as to any other things he was expected to do or make under duress. Basically asking if he has ever crafted a coffin or anything for Strahd.
I'm sorry. What was the very end of that? Getting what for Strahd?
To see if he's ever crafted any kind of coffins or anything for Strahd.
Okay. So as you arrive at the coffin maker's house, you can hear him going about his work normally, and he is actually surprisingly happy to see you.
Okay. I'll go ahead and leave my raven flying around outside again to make sure that we're not being spied on or listened or followed. And I'll greet him with open arms and hug.
He greets you and hugs you and says and introduces his hand, who is working in the back. States that she's a good worker and that he was able to hire her after you gave him that money from when you took that shield from him.
Okay. Do I, as a citizen of this town, recognize her, or
You recognize her face, but you don't know who she is.
okay? That's going to govern how cryptic I am about what I'm about to ask. I will go ahead and show him and compliment him on his craftsmanship and explain how much that it has already helped us. I'm going to ask, indicate that we need to speak alone, that we need him to come with us for a conversation upstairs.
Oh, he says certainly, and he points you up the stairs, and he allows you to go first.
I'll go first. That's fine. Is there a marching order amongst us?
I'll follow behind the coffin maker.
Okay.
All right. Well, you get to the top of the stairs, and he says, so what is it? Is everything all right?
Yeah. We're just kind of delving into the history of the land. And with our last interactions, you'll have to forgive me, but you did some work for some characters under duress, and we were willing to overlook that because we understand the situation you found yourself in. But have you done any other worked or fulfilled any other orders under duress that date back a bit further.
He says, "Oh, no, I've only ever been tasked with the one thing that you saved me from."
Okay. Can I roll insight?
Sure.
$18.
18. You can tell he's telling the truth.
Okay. We plan to leave this area shortly, and I don't know if we will return, but any additional information on such matters would greatly increase the chances that we could return in better spirits than we've been in quite some time.
He says, "Oh, what's the occasion?"
Going to see an old acquaintance. We don't need anything other than information that might be helpful.
Hmm. He says, "And what can I do for you on that front?"
Any information about the person's dwelling or his abode, living conditions, and such might help us see the light of another day.
He says, "Oh, no, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm no one to him."
With my finger, I'm tracing kind of a horizon with a sun kind of over it. So the symbol that I would have seen in the stained glass window in the dust. Is there any kind of reaction?
I'm sorry. I didn't catch you. You're speaking really quiet. What was that last sentence?
I'm sorry. While we speak, with my finger, I'm drawing in the dust on the table, kind of a flat horizontal line with a sun coming up over it. When I say the light of another day.
Hmm. Are you trying to convey a certain message?
Just that I might be an observer of the Morning Lord, and also that, well, pretty much that.
He says, "I see." He says, "If you truly are a follower, he will lead you to where you need to be. Ensure you make your offering. If you don't fulfill your pact, you'll have made another enemy."
Well, there are plenty enemies abound. I'm glad to know that you are at least someone we can call friend. I'll look amongst the other party to Vito to see if he has anything he wants to ask or say, and to our new friend to see if he has anything he needs.
I don't. I just shake my head no.
Lith walks over to the coffin maker, gives him a clap on the back, just kind of looks him in the eye, says, "You take care of yourself in the coming days," and give him a little nod.
He says, "Indeed I will. There's always work to do here."
Actually, since Artie mentioned a shield, I'll ask him about a shield.
He says, not really a shield, just a coffin cover, sturdy built, and your friend here wanted to use it as one.
Could I take one off your hands for a little gold?
He says, you certainly may. He goes into his stock room and brings one out for you and waves you off so as to say that you don't need to pay for it.
I take a gold out of my pack anyway, hand it to him, and say, if all goes well, I won't be needing much of this. Or I'll have plenty.
I'll loosely inquire about his situation with his apprentice.
What about him?
Mostly trying to just make sure he's not in another situation.
He says, "Oh, she's been a great worker. I pay her well, and her work definitely earns her keep. So, she's been a great addition."
I'll go ahead and leave another gold for to pay for her wages for the little bit, and thank him for his time.
He nods and wishes you good luck.
I'll ask that he uses the proper level of discreetness that could be afforded for such topics that we have discussed.
I'm sorry, the end of that sentence again?
I'm just asking for proper levels of discreetness for the topics that we've discussed today.
He says, certainly. Our conversations are our own.
Okay. I'm done if you guys are.
I'm done.
All right. Well, in that case, I assume we're heading to Castle Ravenloft.
Do any of you have anything left to do in town?
Just stop by the Burgomasters and grab Savid.
Okay.
With us.
Didn't you tell Savid to meet you at Castle Ravenloft?
Yep. Did.
Hang back a few days and then leave.
Yep. Wait for people to show up. Yep. I'm down to start heading out.
All right. Well, you head on your way into the night, and almost as soon as you leave the gates of Valaki, the mist closes in behind you, walling you off from returning to the town. Ahead of you, the mist does not advance forward with you. Instead, you are slowly closed in upon, at which point you close your eyes and open them. In the last place you were the last time you were at Castle Ravenloft, in the larders of Ill Omen, in the far southeast part of the castle, deep in a crypt, the same crypt where Lord Strahd's mother and father's corpses are buried. You stand here again and find yourselves feeling different than last time. Last time was confused and failing to understand. Now you're a bit more experienced. You seem more ready. The place doesn't seem quite as daunting. But you're free to go forth and do as you wish.
Upon the travel here, do we have a thigh bone from a previous party member?
Yes.
Okay, I would have given it to our rogue Kasvu.
Yes. Kasvu, go in your inventory and add the thigh bone of Saint Markovia.
And then can you grab the little paragraph from the mace that it is linked to add it again? Just so that he has the full description at his hands.
All right, got that.
The description should be, if he just clicks on the item, it should be in there.
No,
Yeah,
it says that it shares the same attributes of something, but the actual paragraph that is in that item needs to be copied over again.
Okay, what does it share attributes with? What's the name of the item?
Kasvu, can you click that item and
There's
read it?
Mace of Disruption.
Mace of Disruption.
Does it have anything special other than what the mace can do?
Other than what the thigh bones description is there, yes, the Mace of Disruption actually does additional things.
I mean, you could just add the Mace of Disruption into your inventory and rename it as the thigh bone. That might be easier.
Well, I think the thigh bone has extra stuff written in it.
Never mind.
I'll just copy the Mace of Disruption's description and paste that somewhere.
Cool.
I just threw it in the text chat for you too.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, let's continue. You notice up the stairs, all of the individual crypt doors are now open.
Okay.
Well, that can't be good.
Also, Kasvu, go ahead and re-equip your armor. Having that cloak and those boots on doesn't turn off your armor that you have on.
Okay.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay, so we checked this one.
Yeah, you checked this one.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
This one. And this one.
Yes.
And then the crypt up here.
Indeed.
That one, this one, this one, this one, that one. Is there anything else? And that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
Well, these seem to be all open. Do we want to look in here in any of them and see if there's anything interesting? Or just press forward? I mean, I feel like we need to find Van Richten and Esmeralda and friends, but I don't know. DM, can we tell if the mist transported us here within like seconds, or if we went like zombie mode and just puttered here and then only got our wits about us when we arrived? You know what I mean?
You cannot tell.
Okay. God knows how long we've been here.
Oh, that's cool. Your tokens light up now when you move them. And you can see them fully slide instead of just teleport from one place to another.
Indeed.
Sorry, first time back in the rodeo.
No worries. I'm gonna get it perfect after this.
I guess I'll ascend the stairwell and notice the description that you told us about all the doors being open.
All right.
I look back at the crew. Left hand rule again?
I'm in it.
I'll go ahead and take a look in this crypt.
All right. Give me just a moment. As soon as you open the crypt in front of you, you see your own name etched into the door. There's a horrible stench of decay and a corpse lying on a marble slab. Not delicately placed there in ornate wrappings like the others. It's laying there decaying, disgusting. It lays there with its head cocked to one side, bones broken, and with one eye still locked open, staring directly at you. And it looks exactly like you.
It was at this
Okay.
moment that he
Looking
knew
down the line,
he fucked up.
do we all pretty much see the same?
Give me just a moment. Kasvu. As soon as you open the door, you see a gilded man lying on top of a marble slab in the center of a barren crypt. You can hear the voice of Strahd say, Sir Eric Wunderbuck. And, Dorlith,
Yes.
inside your crypt, you open the door and hear Strahd say, Patrina Velikovna, bride. And from the darkness comes a horrifying visage of a spectral elf maiden, twisted by the horror of her undead existence. She wails, and the very sound, you can feel it clawing at your soul. In the center of the crypt, a skeleton draped in rags lies atop a marble slab, surrounded by thousands and thousands of coins.
Dorlith is going to step inside, place his hand above the figure and pray, give a little prayer, one to the Morning Lord, to release them from their torment, and one to his mother's, to find it fit to forgive those who have done this to such a creature.
You don't hear an answer to your prayer, but the ghostly visage disappears from the room.
so we can telepathically communicate just in case we need to keep our voices down.
Okay.
Shall we continue?
Yeah.
Down to the next row.
Dorlith. The one you walk up to. As you open it, you see a skeleton draped in rags lying atop the marble slabbed center in the center of the crypt. Most of the bones appear dusty and neglected, but the skull is very well polished. You hear Lord Strahd's voice say, Intre sic valu. He spurned wealth for the knowledge he could take to heaven.
Can I get a closer look at the skull without touching it? Just like get in and kind of, while I'm heading in to give a little prayer to the Morning Lord, just kind of look at the skull a little bit closer.
The skull is very, very clean. It's perfect.
Anything special about it? Why
Not
it's so
that you
clean?
can tell.
Okay. Easy enough.
Kasvu, the crypt you stand at, is missing its door. You find the three mangled and curled up bodies of three giant wolf spiders in this crypt, and their webs infest all the corners of the walls. Nothing happens when you enter. Artie, opening the door to the crypt that you're standing at, causes the air around you to turn cold. The coldest feeling you've ever imagined. Every surface inside the crypt is covered with a thick brown mold. You hear Lord Strahd say, Baron Ice Glazed Roof.
Would I know anything about that name?
You would not.
Okay. Can I investigate this area?
Can I
Sure, roll investigation for me.
before he does, could I ask them to wait while I cast detect magic?
Sure, you can, yeah. Will he wait, Artie?
Yeah, I'm willing to wait. Also, you said you set up the psionic thing?
Yeah, the psionic whispers. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
go ahead and telepathically say that, and I'll say I opened up a channel in case we need to keep quiet to telepathically to them.
Can you roll a d8?
Yeah.
The D8 DM is going to tell us how long he has to maintain this channel.
3 hours.
Okay. I'll wait for him to finish and indicate that he is, and then I'll inspect it with a 30 under his indication that he's ready.
As soon as you finish casting Detect Magic, you detect magic coming from the crypt that Artie is standing at and the one that Dorlith is standing at.
Okay, I'll go ahead and relay the magic or relay the message to both of them that I'm picking up something. from those.
Can he see anything from the 3 that we're near that we have already checked? The Artie death one and
No, just the one that has Dorlith standing next to it and yours.
okay.
Kasvu, the magic in Dorlith's chamber is coming from the skull. It's necromancy.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and relay that to him.
Dorlith will just close the door to it just after saying the prayer to the Morning Lord.
All right. And you can feel the energy of some kind of magical item inside the crypt that Artie opened. Artie, inside the crypt, you find a shimmering sword.
Okay. Without being told anything about what Kasvu has said, just that he indicated that he was done with his ritual, I'll go ahead and take the sword.
As soon as you pick it up, you get an overwhelming urge.
I thought I relayed the message to him that I detected something.
Yeah, you did, and then he went and picked it up.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, yeah, as soon as you pick up the blade, you get this overwhelming urge to make a wish.
Can I resist?
Wisdom. Saving throw.
Mm.
21.
Damn it.
21, yeah, you'll make it. You can resist making the wish if you want to.
I'll resist it this time and try it possibly later.
Okay. Where to
I
next?
don't know if it'll work later, but I'll try it later. Guess we continue. Oh God.
If we're continuing, then yeah, I'll follow them.
Still this one here.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my way over there, but instead of grabbing my token, I threw. Deleting it. Hold on. I was using the yellow hexagons to mark where there might be magic,
Oh, okay.
but the one in my crypt did need to be removed.
Artie, where you're standing is a skeleton draped in white linen atop a marble slab, clutching a bell to its chest. Fitted over its skull is a tall chef's hat. Strahd says, Pascal Offenheis.
Okay.
Dorlith,
Yes.
at yours, you open and you hear Sir Klutz Tripolotsky. He fell on his own sword. In the center of the crypt is a set of human bones inside the empty shell of a rusty suit of plate armor. Plunged through the armor's breastplate is a longsword.
Dorlith is going to walk in. He's going to say a prayer to the Morning Lord, and also say, well, actually not say anything else. He'll like stand up on the altar, like, or the bit of stone that it's sitting on, and kind of try to pull out the longsword, if it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll lay it beside the bones. Basically,
the longsword
point
comes
down.
out without much trouble.
Yes.
And nothing else happens.
Okay. And just still continuing the prayer to the Morning Lord, he'll lay the blade, the sword down right beside the skeleton, with the point at the feet and the hilt by the side, and then just walk back out and close the door.
All right. Just a moment. Where you're standing, Kasvu, resting in the center of the crypt, is a 7-foot-long gilded sarcophagus, painted with the likeness of a screaming king wearing a crown of horns. Looming behind the sarcophagus is a stuffed owlbear frozen in a roar with its claws outstretched. Lord Strahd says, "King Dostron, the Hellborn."
I look the statue up and down, nod my head, and said, "That's gonna get annoying."
Does he see anything in the tomb?
Any
Can I roll a
magic?
perception?
Nope.
Okay.
All right, Dorlith.
Yes.
As you approach the door, you hear Lord Strahd say, "Growlmore Nibblenobs, Wizard Ordinaire." Lying on a marble slab is a man with a long white beard. He has a wooden staff clutched to his chest, and there's nothing else really of interest in the room.
He'll say another prayer to the Morning Lord and close the door.
Artie, as you approach, dry, hot smoke billows from the crypt as a black horse with a flaming mane and fiery hooves emerges. Smoke billows from its nostrils as it rears up. Just as it seems it's going to bring its weight down on you and stomp you, it disappears into another pillar of smoke. You can hear Lord Strahd's voice say, "Bucephalus, the Wonder Horse. May the flowers grow ever brighter where he trods."
Can I investigate or roll Arcana?
Sure. Whichever one you want to.
26.
26, is that investigation or Arcana?
Arcana.
It's just a magic horse.
So it's faded away.
Yep.
Or fading away. Okay. I will take spot in the archway here, but not approach this door yet.
Kasvu, noticeably, as you approach this door, you do not hear the voice of Lord Strahd speak. You find a skeleton draped in rags lying across the slab, and nothing else. Dorlith, as you approach, you hear, "General Kroval, Mad Dog Grislek, Master of the Hunt, a leader of hounds and men." The stench of brimstone and burnt fur spills from the crypt. In its darkness are 3 pairs of glowing red eyes.
there any growling or movement?
No.
Uh. Hmm. Can Dorlith take out a bit of ration and like toss it in that direction?
When you do, they don't react. They look. Their eyes snap to it, and as you throw it in, they don't go for it. They just look. No growling, snarling, and no movement. You can only see the movement of the eyes.
Can Dorlith take a step in? Just
You certainly can. As you get inside, you can see bits of incinerated bone lying strewn atop a marble slab. Lying amid the bones are the fragments of a shattered spear with a silver head. The walls and domed ceiling of the crypt are covered with scorched murals that depict legions of an infantry and cavalry clashing on battlefields. The eyes do not approach.
Can Dorlith begin to say a prayer to the Morning Lord, and in between like saying the prayer, kind of like speaking to the eyes and saying, "This will put your master at rest, and will put you at rest. Be at peace. This will help." And Dorlith will start to reach down towards that spear.
Mm-hmm.
And like as he gets closer, he'll kind of hold eye contact with the eyes, just going from one set to the other. Is he still speaking his prayer? Do they seem to do anything?
As you remove shards of the spear, the eyes one by one close and disappear into the darkness.
Okay. Finish the prayer to the Morning Lord. Grab the spear and the tip and back out of the room, give a little bow, and close the door. What am I holding in my hand?
As you walk through this area, you can probably detect, with all these being open, any magic sources as we walk. If you stay close to us, you can still detect things.
Okay, so I'll try not to wander off.
Yeah.
DM, am I holding anything interesting?
Just shards of a spear.
Does it look silver tipped?
Yes.
Okay. Since it is shards, would it be like a silver dagger, essentially?
Sure, let's call it a silver dagger.
Okay.
If I happen to see it, I could cast mending on it.
I'll keep it as a dagger. That's fine. The rest of the shards of the staff, though, I'll put in the backpack. And then kind of tuck the spear tip into, like, the side of the belt.
All right.
I'll ask how we're doing in our head chat as I reach out to the door of this crypt.
Do I detect anything coming from that coffin?
I'm sorry, are you going to investigate this crypt?
Yeah, but as I reach for the door, I'm just kind of doing a check-in in my head with the group to see what we've found, what we've heard, what we've seen.
Yeah, I relay to him that I found nothing of interest so far.
And within 30 feet of you, you can detect magic, so you do have quite a bit of a radius around you. Something along these lines. So if you're walking a path, you can probably see in the radius. So as long as you stick kind of near us, you can tell us which ones we need to be aware of. Yeah, I'll go ahead and open this one.
Okay. As you open this, you find on each wall away from the door an unlit torch with iron brackets. But as you approach the center of the crypt, all of the torches light themselves instantly, and you notice that in the light it becomes very clear that the skull and bones that are in this crypt are plaster facsimiles. They're not real.
Okay. Arcana, I guess.
Sure, go ahead.
14.
There's nothing magical about it.
Okay. And then I'll go ahead and inspect the tomb as well. Oh, with the 19.
Nothing of interest inside.
I'll use prestidigitation to turn off the lights as I leave to extinguish the flames.
All right.
So you can actually see into that room with your detect magic. And pretty much if you're standing in the middle of the hallway, everything left and right.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting a general idea of how far it is now.
Yeah. Okay. We gather down here by this door.
Yes.
All right. You're heading into this crypt to the south?
Yes.
Yes.
Give me just a moment. There is a heavy portcullis that stands opened, raised up to the top of the archway leading into the tomb. Black marble steps descend into a dark tomb that has a vaulted ceiling 30 feet overhead. The essence of despair permeates the very air as you enter. The smell of freshly turned earth is here, and settled into the dirt floor is a shining black coffin of finely waxed wood. The coffin's fittings are of brilliant brass and the lid is closed. South of the coffin are 3 gloomy alcoves. An iron lever protrudes from the north wall east of the tomb's entrance. And on the coffin, you can see, even from where you stand, a large emblazoning of a symbol. A large letter V, flanked by a letter S on the left and a Z on the right. Artie and Dorlith, you would recognize this as the seal of Lord Strahd.
I'll take out of my apron one of my ever-burning embers and just indicate to the group my intention.
And your intention is?
To destroy that damn thing. Does Kasvu pick anything up?
No, I was just scoping the area for when we kill Strahd.
Well, no, I mean with detect magic still. I look at you to see if you see anything. Otherwise, we're gonna move in.
Yeah, I'll stand in the at the base of the stairs, base of the portcullis, and I'll try and detect anything.
Can I try to jam this to make sure it doesn't close behind us.
As you close or you said you want to close the portcullis?
I want to try to jam it so that it doesn't fall closed behind us.
How will you do so?
I've got that short sword. Could I try to wedge that in to the track?
You may certainly try. No one's to say it'll work or not, but you can put it there, yep.
Okay. Do I need to make a strength roll or something to slam it into the track?
No, jamming it in there won't take a roll, but it's just a matter of whether it'll work or not. If
Yeah,
the
fair
door
enough.
does stay closed.
Do I detect anything in the room ahead?
What'd you say?
Do I detect any magic in the room ahead?
No, none.
Okay, all right. I'll just let him know that there's no magic.
Dorlith will begin to walk toward the coffin. Is it closed or open? Yeah.
Just so you know, Dorlith, I'm pulling out a second ever Burning Ember, and I'm preparing to cast Flaming Sphere. But I'll
Okay.
wait for your signal.
Oh.
Hello and welcome back.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello and welcome back.
Hello.
Y'all, I think my internet company is having an outage because everything just like went to sleep on me.
Oh.
I mean, internet-wise, my computer's still on,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Huh.
it even still says I'm connected to this. But like I'm on my phone right now, and Allie said her Xbox just had the same issue. All the internet just went off.
Oh.
It's okay. We were gonna end soon. We were gonna end soon anyway. I can come back next week and we'll continue.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. That is so weird. Never had that one happen.
It's
Okay.
all good.
Many much technical difficulties.
Yep.
I was hoping to handle this session, but okay.
Yeah, we only had 30 minutes left anyway, so I was doubtful that we would get through the entire thing anyway. But
Yeah.
good news is, Vito, you said you will be here for the session on the 5th, or yeah,
Yep, on the 5th.
Two
I'll be
more.
here.
if necessary. I don't think it'll take you 2 full sessions. So,
Okay.
but yeah, in that case, thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.
All right.
Thank you much. It was fun.
Next week.
I appreciate you being here. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Hey, DM, real
Yes.
quick. Dorlith approached the coffin and he's checking to see if it's lit, and I'm preparing Flaming Sphere to be cast as a
Okay.
prepared action.
Yes. All right. All right. Well, make a note somewhere that you're
Yeah.
holding Flaming Sphere as an action.
Yep.
So I don't
I'll
forget.
remember.
All right.
Gotcha.
And I'll see you guys soon.
See you next week.
All right. Be safe.
Thanks.
See you next week.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see.
Under raging storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft.
We'll begin with the spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What will
He has a look of power and of madness. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. A party of adventurers has just entered his domain.
Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it.
Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle towers. But Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, or perhaps a lone wolf fills the midnight air.
You'll be free if you truly.
The Master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner. And you are invited.